my heart sometimes. But I realize that God tells us in his word that narrow is the way.
All right.
To heaven. Narrow is the way, but broad is the way to destruction.
Yep.
And if you look, you will see that it's like an 8-lane highway to hell.
Well.
8 lane.
But you have trouble. It's like walking down this aisle
8 lane.
when you see people trying to do right. You can't find very many of them. It's narrow.
Very narrow.
But thank God, God never leaves us to wonder about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you want to know about is in his word.
Amen.
Now, he tells us how to live. He tells us how to die. He tells us how to give. He tells us how to love. He tells us how to treat our neighbor. He tells us how to deal with debt. He tells us how to deal with relationships. How do we deal with each other? Because he gave us an example.
Come on, break it down.
See, sometimes we want to try to figure things out on our own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we are lost because he says, my people perish.
Well.
Because of lack of knowledge. It is not that the knowledge is not available. It's because we don't want to use them.
Amen.
Because it cramps our lifestyle.
Okay.
Because we have to read it. And once we read it, it starts messing with us because now we know exactly what's right and what's wrong and what God requires, and we want to do what we want to do.
Okay.
But see, one of the things that as we look at Scripture, see, one of the things that we forget about is accountability.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the core values of integrity is accountability. We chose that because we realize that if you don't have accountability, you'll do almost anything.
Come on.
Yeah.
If you don't have some kind of restraints on you, or if there's no consequences, you will do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And we've already been told that we have a sinful nature, so therefore we're going to lean to the sinful things and the things that's contrary to God's will.
Yep.
So we need somebody to hold us accountable.
Amen.
God gives us the guideline, he gives us the word, but he also gives each of us the responsibility to hold each of us accountable.
Okay.
Now, I think sometimes we get it all twisted. We talk about judging, but Scripture will explain it to us as we go through the lesson today. It will explain to us what it's talking about. I have a passion about us trying to be righteous and trying to do the right thing. We don't always do the right thing, but we always should be trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
One thing we have is we have two choices. Every situation has a choice. There's a right choice and then there's a wrong choice.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know I've told you probably one of the a phrase that was penned in the pit of hell is being politically correct. When God told us that we need to be biblically correct.
All right.
Well, make it plain.
Now, it tells us, see, the world will tell you that you're intolerant, that you don't have no love.
Come on.
But the word tells you that if I love my brother and I see my brother in a fault, I'll go to him and let him know.
Yes.
So that he doesn't falter, that he doesn't fail, that he doesn't go to hell.
Yeah.
But what the world tell you, say that's not my business. You do what you want to do. If you okay and I'm okay, so if you don't tell me what to do, if I don't tell you what to do, then you don't have the right to tell me. So therefore, but that's not how Scripture works. Over in 1 Thessalonians 5, 11 through 15, it tells us, it gives us some information about how we're supposed to deal with each other. 1 Thessalonians 5, 11 and 15.
All right.
And the reason says, wherefore comfort yourself together and edify one another, even as also you do. 12, it says, and we beseech you, brother, to know them which labor among you and are over you in the Lord and admonish you, and to esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake, and be at peace among yourself. It tells us right now that we need to be loving, kind, and concerned about those who work in the field, in the kingdom of God. 14, it says, now we exhort you, brother. Now this is what I'm talking about. It says, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded.
All right.
Though and support the weak and be patient towards all men. So it's not telling us if you see a brother that's struggling and going through some tragedies and some things and trials and tribulations in their life, it's your responsibility. Come on. To go to your brother. Yeah. The world says it's not my business. But the word tells us that it is your business. I love you, so I'm not going to allow you to go to hell. I love you. I see the bridge is out. I know the bridge is out down the road there. And if you keep going the direction that you're going to fall into the lake and drown, and I don't want that. So therefore, but if you take on the attitude, well, that's not my business. That's not my fault.
Well.
That's the world talking to you. Accountability means that you're teaching people, that you're challenging them, you're supporting them, you're correcting them, you're encouraging one another in a way that promotes spiritual integrity and spiritual maturity. Why do I need to be held accountable? Because the Bible said we're a lot like sheep. Mm-hmm. Y'all know about sheep, right? Yes. Sheep can't even drink from a running stream. You got to
take them to still water. Still water.
They. I think that's probably where the game of follow the leader came from. Because whoever's leading at the time, the sheep will follow him. If you go get ready to walk off a cliff, a sheep will walk off too. That's why it said sheep need shepherds to show them the way to go. Because they'll wander and they'll eat the wrong things and they'll do the wrong things. But if not somebody telling them what to do, guess what? They're bound for hell. See, sometimes inadvertently we choose the wrong things to do, but more often it's leaping. We leap to disobedience. Why? Because we want to feel good. And a lot of times we're forgetting about the consequences and or just downright disregarding them because we want to do what we want to do.
Yep.
Well.
But the word gives us guidelines and rules and regulations and things that we shouldn't do, the things that will keep us in order with God. Paul tells us that in Romans 7 tells us why we need accountability. Because Romans, it says, for the good that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right now.
That's what I don't do.
But I practice the very evil that I do not
should
want.
not. That's it.
But if I'm doing the very things I do want, I'm no longer the one doing it, but sin which dwells in me. So he tells us that, that's another way of telling us we got that sinful nature. This Satan is always pulling sin and doing the wrong thing is always pulling at us. Right. But when you gather yourself around those that are trying to do what God says, it's easier to do the right thing. Come on. But when you well, yourself with foolishness,
okay,
craziness, guess what? What you lean to, what you feed in, is what comes out.
Yep.
It was a poem. It was called "Prone to Wonder." Oh, to grace, how great a debtor daily I can strain to be. Let the goodness like a rope or fetter bind my wandering heart to thee. See, we need something to pull us back. And this word that we study and we read and we wonder how come we can so easily stray is because we're not deeply rooted and grounded in God's word.
All right.
That's why we admonish you to come to Bible study. Study, get a quiet time, do some praying time so that you can be in the right frame of mind. I shared with y'all a couple of weeks ago about the amount of time that we spend in the TV compared to the amount of time that we spend in prayer and in His Word.
Come on now.
It's disappropriate.
It is.
Because sometimes we find giving God 10 minutes hard.
Come on now.
But we can get into the TV shows for hours. They run about an hour.
All day long.
Huh? In that hour, not only do we get the jump,
Yeah.
they fill our minds with the things that we really don't need in the commercials.
Come on now.
I don't know about y'all. I don't know if they work on you. But have you ever seen that person eating that Burger King hamburger? and the juice is running down, and you see the cheese and the pickles, and I see. I'm gonna tell on myself. You know, I love telling on myself. I saw a commercial about In-N-Out Burger. And for 2 weeks,
They are, man.
every time I was trying to get
I do not like them.
and I struggled for 2 weeks till I got there and got that double-double. No, well, I didn't need a double-double, a single with a double, but I wanted it.
Double.
But you know, at that particular time, I was not disappointed. Because you know, you had to be craving for something.
Yeah.
And you get it and say, oh, man, I've been for 2 weeks. But it was good, that one. But anyway. But then you got them commercials and things. So we fill ourselves with junk. And they work.
Oh, yeah.
Just like that commercial that worked with me on that hamburger. That craziness that we see that they do on hip-hop, Atlanta. And you know what? Why is that junk still on TV?
Come on now.
I'm going to tell you why it's on TV, because it
People
goes to
watching
the
it.
nature, so therefore people are looking at it. Then you got hip-hop Miami,
Come on.
hip-hop New York,
Wow.
hip-hop Atlanta. You name it, every major city got a hip-hop. But why? Because we watch it. But accountability builds a hedge of protection around us. If I get ready to do something and I got a brother that's been praying for me or a sister that's been praying for me or that brother's around me, it stops us. It slows us down from doing the wrong thing. But if we're around a group of crowd that does the craziness that we want to do, guess what? It gets so easy. Everybody says, yeah, bro, come on. Let's
do it.
yes. But when you got somebody that holds you accountable.
Yeah, yeah.
My kids have held me accountable. How can you preach this word? Or how can you say you're a Christian and yet still... So certain things that I just can't do around my kids. Not that,
General.
or there's certain things I can't do around you. But when you got that accountability factor built in, because you got always people around you, and you know what? We profess to be Christians. We profess to be loving. We profess to be kind. And then, do you know? Everywhere I go, I run into somebody I know. You say you love the Lord, but when you're slipping and sliding, people are watching you, and your testimony goes right out the window.
Come on now. Yeah.
So not only the fact that Christians should hold us accountability, but our character should hold us accountable.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If we profess to be Christians, and Christians is to be Christ-like. On your job, you raising hell.
All right now.
fussing just like everybody else around there, how can they tell that you Christians?
All right.
See, sometimes we just have to, this word has to be what holds us.
Come on.
Christians around us
Really?
are like constant pleading voices for us to do the right thing.
Yep.
When we get by ourselves, that's when we're in trouble. Another reason for accountability, accountability builds integrity.
Accountability.
Who will ask you the hard questions?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you studying? Are you in Bible study? Are you reading? Or are you giving God time? How are you treating your wife? How are you treating your husband? Are you giving time to your kids?
Okay.
When you got somebody asking you them kind of questions, they bring it to your forefront of your mind, and you got to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? One of the things that gets me is we talk about. I get to it a little later.
Take your time.
Integrity results when truth in our life lines together.
Yeah.
But when we're accountable and truth gets there and our life is in the same, it intersects. That's when
It lines up.
we're doing what. See, we're subject to deceive our own selves.
Wow.
We're subject to justify the things that we do. But when a brother or sister look at you, they can't justify it. Or you can tell them. But guess what? But accountability brings freedom.
That's right.
We've all done the wrong things, and we have the time to think about the wrong thing. But when you're doing the right things, it gives you freedom. So you're not bound by your secrets. You don't have to keep track of the lies.
Okay.
I'm talking about accountability. I don't know if y'all ever had to keep track and say where you at, when you were there, who you with. Come on now. People who try to make it on their own usually don't.
Right.
If you ain't got God, you ain't got somebody to hold you accountable, you ain't got the word, if you ain't got that stuff to bind you together, guess what? That's why it tells us don't forsake the assembling of yourselves. We need to be around godly people. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, we don't always be around the world, but we don't act like the world.
Right.
Sometimes we need to realize when we need to get back to that church or to them people or to that men's group or to that women's group so that we can get back on track.
Amen.
Preach, brother.
Lone targets are easy targets.
Come on.
When you get separated from the herd, that's when people get picked up.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Y'all ever seen Animal Kingdom? What happens when a lion?
Get that one by himself.
What's the first thing he do? He finds the strap.
Yep. Keep looking for that one that's single out.
From the herd, and then he got easy pickings.
Yep.
So what happens? What Satan does?
Same thing.
Satan does the same thing.
Yes, sir.
So you're sitting up there, you're struggling with trying to do the right thing. You're struggling with making right decisions, and guess what? Or you have tragedy in your life, so you start backing up and getting out the way. You ain't coming to church, and you ain't coming to Bible study, so you get that stinking thinking. So what does he do? He's just like that lion. He goes off and cut off your path.
Yes.
From the saints that's praying for you, the saints that love you, the saints that are concerned about you. And what he do?
Yeah.
And then what he does, he gives you start getting that crazy thinking.
Come on.
Y'all ain't never did no crazy thinking, huh?
Come on.
Well, watch out. Guilty.
It talks about being community. Men, humans are relational shit. I hear it all the time. Well, you know, I'm kind of private. I'm a private person. Yeah, well, you keep on being private. But don't get me wrong. You can't tell everything, and you can't fellowship with everybody because everybody don't have your best interest. You got to choose. Bible tells you to seek wise counsel.
Yes, it does.
You check somebody out. Y'all know. You say, well, I don't judge. But I bet you made a decision and say, well, I don't think they're going to heaven.
Oh, come on.
What'd you do then? You just
Judged.
All right. All right.
So are you still look at somebody and say, well, I looked at their life, I looked at their walks, I followed their track, I see that they're trying to do the right thing. They're open-minded, They study God's word, and when you talk to them, it ain't about, baby, this is what I do. It talks about God says.
Yeah.
When you still find somebody like that,
Yeah.
that's wise counsel.
That's it.
That's somebody you can share what's going on with you.
You hang with them.
See, we need that ability to have somebody where we can take off the mask. When we get the mask on, and nobody knows what's going on. You know how come there's so many suicides? The suicide is because nobody knows what's going on in that person's life. They got craziness happening,
Preach, brother.
but they can't share it to nobody
Yeah.
because they're ashamed.
Preach, brother.
I'm hurting,
That part.
but I've got a smile on my face.
Come on.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Mm.
Satan said, you know what? You shouldn't even be here.
Come on.
You're a waste.
Oh, Lord.
This ain't going to work. Why you even try?
Come on.
But hanging in there and having a sense of community. One of the things that, you remember last week I said, probably one of the most important spiritual, defining spiritual things that happened in integrity was that brunch that we had for the ladies only.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Why?
Praise the Lord.
It was designed to have a sense of community.
Amen.
That we like the same things. We serve the same God. I'm not no different than you are.
Tell the truth now.
But I don't know you, so when I look at, all you have to do is look at me sideways. I don't know what you're thinking.
Well.
I don't know what kind of day you have, but you looked at me wrong, so something's wrong with you, so I don't like you.
Come on.
But when I know what you like, when I know that you love God, when I know that you like going to movies, you like the same things, like I love my family.
Come on.
I'm trying to do the right thing.
Preach, brother.
I might fall, but when you're able to share that kind of stuff, that builds community, and when you get that strength, and that's like a wall that you can't break through.
Come on now.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm private and I don't want people to know my business. Yeah, be private. I don't want you to know everything about me.
All right.
But I'm willing enough to share when I'm hurt, when I'm down. I got some people I can share with.
Yes.
So I don't have to agonize in the middle of the night about this hurt, this pain, this disappointment. Somebody's gone through the stuff that I've gone through.
All right.
But if I can't trust them to share with, guess what? I'm just out there by myself.
All
Okay.
right now.
Accountability established a deeper fellowship. It takes off the mask. You get purity through accountability. I get more godlike when somebody's holding me accountable.
Mm-hmm.
You remain pure through accountability. I don't know about you, but oh yeah, I know about you. I know that Satan tries to attack you. I know that he tries to put stumbling blocks in you. Satan knows exactly what you like.
Yep.
And what do you think he put in your way to trip you up?
That thing you like. That thing you like.
What you like?
Black seeds candy.
Oh my.
The detour going right by the cash. That's an easy one, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Man. What does the Bible say about accountability? I'm going to close, but I got a couple of them. And just to let you know that God honors that. Y'all know when David stole Uriah's wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all know he was held accountable. Somebody had to go to him with it.
Yep.
See, David was the king.
He was the king.
And all he had to do was say, "Are you out of here?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of what he did it to Uriah. He stole Uriah's wife. He sent Uriah on the front line to murder him, so he really murdered Uriah. But he couldn't see what was wrong with that. He was trying to justify what he did. He was covering up. But y'all know that Nathan
Called him on it.
Confronted him.
Called him on it.
And what happened when he called him on him? Even with the idea that he might lose his life, God had put it on him. He told that brother that what was wrong. And because he told, David was able, he had to go through the consequences of his actions. But yet and still, because he was able to get it right and get his relationship back in the right order with God.
Amen.
When y'all see in Psalms 51, when he's talking about creating me a right heart,
Amen.
clean me up. If you find anything, clean it up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And then if you look a little further, over in Galatians, the 2nd chapter of Galatians, when Peter had been ministering to the Gentiles, and he was hanging out with them, and he was eating with them, and he was being with them. But then when the Jewish boys came,
Come on now.
Back away from him.
when the Jewish boys come, he backed off from them. He didn't have time to do with them. He wasn't one of the boys no more. What did Paul do? Opposed him right to his face. Said, what you doing, man? Now these guys over here ain't ain't Jews. They Gentiles. Now they circumcised, but you back over here with these uncircumcised boys. You ain't got time to talk with them. You need to get yourself together. You can't be no hypocrite. So he confronted him. So you should see that all throughout the Bible, that was accountability.
Yeah.
The reason our church is in such a mess today, we see things that we know that is wrong and contrary to God, and yet still we're allowed to go on in the church. Pastors doing whatever they want to with whoever they want to. Deacons running through the choir stand. Come on now.
Somebody said they're not singing. And they're not singing.
See the chairman of the deacon board at the club leaning on the bar or in the corner somewhere, and you know that's not his wife.
Watch out now.
But I'm talking about this craziness going on, and yet and still we high-fiving. And you know what? That indicts us. When we see stuff like that, yet and still, we're allowed to go on. God gonna ask us, how come? How come? You didn't hold people accountable. You know, sometimes I see Christians, sometimes they'll go down with the ship. I saw this a while back, but I saw it again come back up on Facebook. And people are going for anything politically correct. Remember I told you it was pinned in the pits of hell. I saw a picture on Facebook of a pastor. Y'all know where I'm going, huh? And his first man holding some lilies and a flowing robe. First man. First man.
Wait, not the first
A
lady.
pastor and a first man. Well, I'm talking about a man pastor.
We know.
And a first man. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just messed up. But no, I ain't.
You say no, I ain't.
This is what the word says. Accountability.
That's right.
We need to make sure that we be about God's business and be about His word.
Yes, sir.
But one of the things that I didn't cover in my messages, accountability should be in accordance with God's word. That's the number one. And accountability should be done in love.
Yes.
Amen.
I'm not talking about just going up and say, you know, you're going to hell, you ain't doing right. You know, you're going to turn people off. But in his word, you hold people accountable to his word, and you hold them accountable, and you use accountability in love. And God will grow you, grow the people that you minister to, and will grow the church. God bless you this morning.
Amen.